everyone, it's Shari Carroll here with Simon Says Stamp with the Merry and Bright, which is the December card kit, and I'll be showing you the reveal and card inspiration. So I'm going to start you out with the stamp set, and this one is called Merry and Bright. It has a lot of great little images that you can put together, and also a really fun curved banner at the bottom. We've added something special to this kit, and I've cut mine up for the photography, but this is the packaging. And this is the Chibitronics Beginning Light Set. And what you get is a roll of this copper tape, also the lights, you get a battery, and also a clip to help you keep everything together. So this is a really fun starter kit if you want to create a lighted card. The pattern papers this month are from Doodlebug, and there's 12 double-sided sheets, and this is from their Here Comes Santa collection. So there's a lot of really fun colors in here, the teal, red, green, and also some pink. So a lot of fun patterns that you can use, and also really nice snowflakey backgrounds and things you can cut up to put onto your cards. Also from Doodlebug is a set of pop-out stickers, and these are from Dear Santa. So it's a little mailbox and little letters, and also some enamel type candy canes. Simon Says Stamp has come out with some really great envelopes, and included in this set is one red V-flap envelope and then also a little white gift card envelope. And finally, the cardstocks this month are a sheet of vellum, which is a really nice vellum. You can see the colors through. Also Schoolhouse Red, Surf Blue, 120-pound white cardstock, and then Green Apple Green. So this is the Merry and Bright December 2016 card kit from Simon Says Stamp. I've created a card using the tree image and also that curved banner shape. And I've also done a Chibitronics behind the star of the tree, but I'll show you that in a second. So I'm starting off with a panel of white Nina cardstock, and I'm stamping my tree. I'm using intense black ink because I will be using my Copic markers to color this. I'm also going to be masking off the tree to add some ink behind. So I have a piece of Post-it note paper here, and I've just put it right over my tree image. I've inked that up again with the intense black ink and just stamped that right down onto that Post-it note. So now I can just go ahead and trim that out and create a mask for my tree. So I'll start off by coloring the tree, and I'm using a variety of greens, and I'm starting off with a fairly light color. This one is YG23, then I'm moving on to YG25 and just adding a little bit of darker color to the sides. Now I'm going in with a really dark color, which is G99, and I'm just adding that to the outsides. I'll go back in with my YG25 to blend that out a bit and to create more of a shadow effect. So now I'm just kind of just touching up with some other greens and adding little shadows and highlights. Once I have my tree colored, I'm going to go ahead and put my mask right on top. And I want to make sure that I line this up really well. And when I cut the mask, I cut it right on the lines. So I'm going to add a little bit of shading behind the tree by just using my fog ink and a Sukaneko little ink dauber and just kind of swirling around. I'm not going to go too far out on the tree. So once I've finished coloring, I can go ahead and lift up this mask and show how this really creates a lot of depth, and you don't need a very dark color. I have stamped my little curved banner and colored that in, and now I'm using my MISTI to go ahead and stamp my image right on the inside. So I've put some cardstocks together, some paper piecing together, and I'm getting ready to do my Chibitronic lights. And I'm using my template from my MISTI and marking right where that light goes, because I want to make sure when I go to put my light down on my cardstock, I know exactly where it goes. So I have a little black dot. I'm going to go ahead and lift that up and go ahead and mark that paper. So that's where the light is going to go. I'll put my panel right back on. And now I want to mark where we want to push, because we have to push on the battery to make it light up. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that template again, remove my panel, put this back in, and now I can mark and give myself a general idea of where I want that to go. Right now I have a gray backing card or panel for my panel, and I want to poke a hole in this so that the light can really show through on this really heavy cardstock. So I'm using my hole punch. I have the gray panel separated from the front. They're still kind of taped together. And I'm just going to go ahead and use my screw punch and poke a hole in there. And this will give me a real direct light when I go to add my chibi. So I'm going to go ahead and peel that off from my healing mat and press that down in place. Now I'm ready to do my lights, and I just have a piece of printer paper that I've created, putting a fold, and I'm just going to go ahead and put some tape runner on the back of this. This is going to hold the battery, so I want to put that right over that mark where I have decided the battery needs to go. So I'm going to go ahead and press that down, and I'm starting to do the copper tape now. So what I need to do is run a piece of tape, and I'm going just below my little dot, and this is going to go directly to where that battery is going to sit. I am going to call this the positive connection, and I'll be marking my papers with a positive so I know that the battery needs to sit in the positive. I also like to use the little chibi light sticker. I'm going to go ahead and peel this off. It is marked with a negative and positive. So the flat side at the bottom is the positive and the little pointed top is the negative. So what I'm doing is just setting this down because I need to run my other copper tape for the negative part kind of close together but not touching. So just by setting it down, you give yourself an idea where it needs to go. So now I'm doing my negative portion, and I'm just running that copper tape close to but not touching that positive, and so we're going to call this one the negative. And I'll just run this straight down. It has a really great adhesive back, and I'm just making bends as I go around to make sure that everything will lie flat. So I want to make sure that when I end this negative portion, it's going to sit flat with that battery. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this side as my ending spot, and I can just go ahead and make another bend, and then when I'm done I can clip that off. So now I have that folding paper, and I can burnish all this copper tape down. None of my positive and negatives are touching until I need them to. So at this point I can go ahead and put my little light in place, and so the bottom portion is touching that positive line, and then the top is touching that negative line. So I'm going to go ahead, I have my battery in there, and just by closing that little piece of paper I have a light. Now that everything's working, I'm adding a little bit of my tape to put the battery down so that it doesn't move around within the card. So I can go ahead and set that down and make sure it still lights up. I do test it like every time I do anything, so I test it. So it's working really well. Now I need to add some foam tape around the battery so that it doesn't just stay on while it's in an envelope. So I'm going to be doing a double layer of my foam tape, and once I shut this I'll test it again to make sure everything works. So a double layer sits just above the battery so that when the card's sitting flat, the battery or the terminals are not hitting that battery. So I'm going to go ahead and put my panel down here and show you how when you press just right in that center, it lights up right in the center of the star. So to finish this up, I'm adding a double layer of my foam tape around the perimeters of this card so that everything will sit flat and flush. And I'm just using the 3M tape because it goes really fast. I don't have to use the little glue dots. So I'll go ahead and tear off the backing from one and then go ahead and put another layer down. So now I can go ahead and sit this right on. Everything sits nice and flat, and I have my finished card. So here's how this looks unlit. It is really, I think all the colors are really fun and the pattern papers are really great. And here is how it looks while it's lit. I think once you try the Chibitronic lights, you're really going to be addicted because I can't wait to do more. So I hope I've given you some inspiration to create a lit card using the Merry and Bright card kit from Simon Says Stamp, and thanks for watching.